All right, welcome back to Inventory Watch. This is where we go over the Phoenix housing numbers every week here in the Phoenix Metro. And my name is Amy Garish, or if you follow me on TikTok, I am the scary looking one. Social media is so much fun. But enough about my social media insecurities. Let's get into the data. I'm going to go ahead and shrink my head a little bit, and then we can go into presentation mode and check out the numbers. Maybe if I can press the right ones. Let's see. Okay, so it is February 18th, and I've got the data up to yesterday, February 17th. So let's get into it and see where we're sitting. So for new listings here in the Phoenix Metro, we've got February 1st through 17th. Last year, we had 5214 brand new listings in the market. So far this month, we are beating it by just about 1%. We're at 5252 for new listings, fresh new listings this month. So last month, we were up 14%. So the new listings has slowed down a little bit coming to the market. And so it will all depend now on buyer demand. And we'll see if we can beat the inventory target for February. Last year, we had 7,724 brand new listings come to the market in the month of February. One thing to note this year, I believe it's a leap year, so we do have that extra day. And so we should beat it, but it'll just be like, by how much are we going to beat it for? So something to keep an eye on this year. Let's get into total active inventory. So those numbers that I just talked about were brand new listings. And again, we're up slightly for February. But active inventory is a combination that gives us an idea of, how many new listings we have, how many older listings are still in the market. And it gives us idea of like where buyer demand is. So we are up 16,505 total active homes on the market here in the Phoenix Metro. And this is the month to date number for February. So this will close out in a couple more weeks. But as of right now, inventory is trending up, which is great. Hopefully it will help with options for home buyers and keeping affordability somewhat stable this year. That is a 3% change from 2 weeks ago when I pulled this number. So we are up. And the average list price has been trending up every week. Like we started at 820,000 average list. We're at 849 and 2 weeks ago, and now we're at 869, which is a little concerning that sellers are trying to get. But I think that's a function of like more luxury listings coming to the market because we saw the interest rates kind of decrease a little bit, but that didn't last very long. And we'll go into interest rates here in a minute. Let's head over to pendings and contingents. So this is the stat of how many active buyers are in our market right now. And so right now we have 3,877 weekly pendings from last week, the week that we just finished, or this week, I would say. And that's actually down 3.6% week over week. So you can see we peaked out the week of, that says March 10th, which I think, I can't edit it. So actually that should be February 10th. I got them backwards, but so the week of February 10th, we peaked out at over 4,000 active buyers, and we did see that spike down. And I believe it's because the interest rates spiked up. So every time interest rates go up, we lose some buyers in the market. And I think that's what happened. And I think that's what we're starting to see. The last 30 days, average under contract price is 666. And I added the 0.2 so we wouldn't have the full mark of the devil, but we are at our average under contract price. So what these buyers are putting under contract, that is the average price. You can see it's a lot different from the average list price, which was over $800,000. And so the buyers are in the range of 600,000, which is the average, but that's up a whopping 9.5%, almost 10% from last week. And again, I think as interest rates spike up a little bit, I think this will start to come back down. So that huge rush in demand that we saw after the holidays, we'll see if that continues to wind down or what the interest rates do. I think our market is very, very dependent on these interest rates staying in the sixes to keep buyers kind of somewhat happy. The pending ratio. This is, it helps determine market control. So are buyers in control or are sellers in control? The higher this number, the more the sellers are in control. So we're at 50.4%, which is giving sellers an advantage in most of these zip codes. I am still seeing price reductions happening. So I'm thinking like some zip codes, we're still seeing houses sit on the market a little bit longer and sellers getting impatient. But I think in a lot of the markets, when the interest rates were in the sixes, we saw this demand kind of rush in. So I'm wondering if over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see this pending ratio kind of dip a little bit as interest rates kind of climb. So something to keep an eye on here for this pending ratio. And if you're wondering, who's in control of the market, like in your neighborhood, I have put together this. It's called mysoldscore.com. It's a great way to empower you if you're thinking about selling your home, how likely your home is going to sell in your neighborhood in this market. And because like I said, some neighborhoods, I'm seeing the days on market a little bit higher, and in some neighborhoods, the homes are just popping off. So a higher score signals a more successful sale. A lower score doesn't necessarily mean your home won't sell. It just means that we have to look deeper at the market conditions and figure out, do we need an extra coat of paint? Do we need some more curb appeal? Like, what do we need to do to get your score a little bit higher? So you can get your score instantly, and it's free. Just create a quick account on mysoldscore.com, and you can see what your score is if you're really thinking about selling your house. I highly recommend it here with the professionals over at Place, and they can help you if you're in a neighborhood where your score is a little bit lower. They can help you figure out what you need to do to get your home to sell. So I think that's awesome. And let's talk about mortgage rates. So these were the rates back about a month ago, January 13th. You can see that the conventional rate was 6.69%. FHA was at 6% flat, 6% even. And so this is when we started to see like the buyers come back rushing into the market after the holidays. They were excited about the new inventory. They were excited about the lower rates. And I did see this week was the first week, as I just said, that buyer demand fell about 1.something%. So we did see the current interest rates. This is where we're at currently. Nope, that's January 28th, February 17th. So we are up. So we went from 6.69% on a conventional to 7.14%. And FHA went from 6% to 6.65%, which I believe is about a 6 to 7% increase in interest rates. So we did see interest rates go up. And like I said, that will pull back some of the buyers that were out there in the market because now they've been priced out or they can afford less and they don't want to afford less right now because there's not a lot of less to afford. So we'll see if these will continue to rise and how they affect our market going through this upcoming year. The number of sold homes. So it's not really a great number until we get to the end of the month because most of the closings happen the last week of February. But right now we're trending less closings than we saw last year. But we did see a huge kind of demand come through in January of homes going under contract. So as long as those people don't lose their jobs, like don't back out of their contracts, like we should see February trend up in closings over what we saw last year because we did see more pendings this year. However, the market is still a little bit iffy. Like I said, I've been seeing more layoffs in the news and things like that happening. Credit card usage is at its all-time high. So if you have too many credit cards, by the time you get to closings, like sometimes the underwriters are like, no, we're not going to fund this loan. So something to consider. So we'll actually see if there is an impact by the number of closings that happen in February. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Let's get into the rental market. So the rental market is neither here nor there. I think that we saw active listings come down and we saw pendings come down as well. So it's kind of like moving, like the confluence there is like less listings, less demand, and it's just kind of ebbing and flowing. We did see in January 4% increase in new listings, but we're not seeing that continue on in February. So we did see less listings so far month to date hit the market as far as rentals go. And the total active amount of rentals on the market has decreased 1.8%. But the buyer demand is also down, so it is what it is. The total pendings this week is 673 active renters in the market that have put homes under contract for rent. And then closed rentals, we can see that in January this month compared to January last year, we were actually down 6%, almost 7% less renters were renting this year and putting new rents in place. And the same with February, we did see the number of renters down 2%. So total active inventory was down 1.8%. Total renters in the market is down 2%. So it's kind of moving down together. So it's not creating a divergence. So when we see a divergence of like the demand is going down, but the number of rentals is going up, then that means that prices in rentals will come down. But I'm just not seeing that right now. The average rental price that I saw was $22.45 for around 1,700 square feet. So if you're looking to rent, that's what you can expect to pay in this current market. The pending ratio for rentals right now is about, I didn't update it. This was 2 weeks ago, we were at 8.4%. We're about 10% now. And I would say it's about the same. Landlords have a higher advantage in some zip codes, and renters or buyers, looking to put in something under contract in other zip codes have the control there. So it's kind of like I said, it's kind of neither here nor there. It just depends on where you're looking. So, and that was an extra mortgage rate chart. So that is all I have for you guys this week. So I will see you guys next week when we look at Inventory Watch for Phoenix. Thanks.